So this is the Rock Island VRF14 12 gauge. Take that. So before we jump into the Rock Island VRF14 review, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Rock Island Armory and to True Shot Gun Club for giving me the opportunity to review this. The Rock Island VRF14 is a 12 gauge, 14-inch barrel semi-automatic firearm. This takes 12 gauge shells, but no, it is not technically a shotgun. This model comes with a pistol grip, a 5-round magazine. It's also compatible with the VR Series 9 and 19 round magazines as well. So it actually has something called a buffer bolt system. It doesn't have a buffer tube like an AR-15 would have. It's all integrated into the forend and that spring recoil system. It does come with 2 springs. So you have a low power spring and then you have a high power spring. And so far what I've noticed is the high power spring doesn't really work well with low power rounds. I did try that, and of course I was getting lots of feed issues and cycling issues. This is number 8 shot, so it's pretty small, and it actually comes with a recoil spring for lighter loads. So we'll see. I have some heavier stuff we're gonna shoot as well. Let's see. So I think I have to put the, I gotta put the lighter spring in there. Okay, fire those. So if you're gonna be shooting lightweight shot like bird shot and target rounds and stuff like that, you're gonna wanna swap in that low power spring in there. Otherwise, if you wanna shoot something heavier like turkey loads, or if you wanna shoot buckshot, slugs, something like that, you're gonna wanna put in that heavy spring that actually comes pre-installed on the firearm as well. The receiver is all 70-75 aluminum, and then the whole top and fore end is all gonna be a polymer. No, we're not going to call it a shotgun because that's not what it's designed as. So this is the VRF14, and it's kind of like your typical tactical 12 gauges that you're going to see that are really popular on the market right now. This is pretty close to that. So these take the AR style 5-round magazines, and I know they make drum mags for these, so they do make a lot of options for magazines. Right here on the left side you have your safety. So safe and fire in the same place that you would see on an AR just about. If it's on safe, you actually cannot move that bolt, but if you pop it on fire, it lets you actually pull the bolt back. So some people like that, some people don't, and it doesn't really affect me either way. So on the top you do have a pick rail going all the way down the top. You also have molded in Picatinny rails on the side and then all the way down the bottom. So yes, it's covered in rails. You got plenty of mounting options. I will tell you, everything on here is a composite plastic type material, except for the actual receiver. That is that's aluminum. You also notice that it does not have a buffer tube. It doesn't have a buffer or anything. It's a total different type of recoil system. They call it the buffer bolt system. So it comes with these flip up sights as well. But it's kind of hard to, I mean, you don't have a stock on this, so it's not like we're gonna shoulder anyways. Take that. You broke it. So fast forward 1 week, I took the VRF14 back out to the range to get some more content utilizing some buckshot and some slugs. It was about 110 degrees out and sunny and absolutely miserable, so yeah, perfect day to go shooting. So we're gonna try 2 different kinds of slugs. They're both 2 3/4 inch shells. One is gonna be a reduced recoil, or they call it managed recoil slug, and the other one is just a standard 1 ounce slug. So it's just a big fat bullet inside a shotgun shell. So the second shot is gonna be the managed recoil one. First one is gonna be just a regular 1 ounce slug. Let's see how it works. All right, we're loaded. Here we go. Slug.
Oh yeah, that's got some boom to it. All right, this one's gonna be the managed recoil. You know, it does have a big difference in feel for sure. It's actually not that bad. To be honest, those turkey loads are high-powered stuff, so that's very similar. For our next punishment, we have 3-inch double-aught buck. So standard shotgun shells are gonna be 2 3/4 inch. This one is a 3-inch and it's buckshot. So this is gonna be a very spicy round as well. So I'm gonna show you something with these magazines real quick. They're a little tricky to load, but you get used to it after a while. So the first one, of course, goes in really easily. But what happens is when you put the second one in, the casing, the little lip can get caught on this front part right here on the little brass. So it makes it really hard to put in there. So let me show you, see if this does it. So if you look at this right here, I have that second one in, and no matter what you do, it just won't go in. So what you have to do is you have to put pressure on the front of it like this and then slide it back. I don't know why it took me a while to figure that out. 3 rounds of 3-inch double-aught buck. This will be fun. Not looking forward to this one. Oh. Yeah, you feel that. All right, so this is a good opportunity to kind of bring up one of the beefs I have with this gun. The higher power the round, the more reliable it seems to run, especially with the default high power spring inside here. Now this is the problem. This gun gives it a bit of a spicy feel. Really cool looking, and this is a really cool gun, so I do like it actually, but one issue I'm having is the ergonomics. So if you look at the back, let me zoom you in. If you look at the back right here, it goes from a nice rounded grip, and then it squares off right here on the side. You can see those edges. You can see those edges right on the side. Now the problem is, when you're holding this shotgun, your hands actually start wrapping around on the squared off edges. If they could take this and if they could take this part right here and smooth this out so this is completely rounded, it wouldn't be nearly as bad. But the problem is you're grabbing onto like a block right back here. So this part right here is making contact with this part of your hand, and you really feel that, especially when you're shooting something hot and something like buckshot, the turkey loads or slugs. You really start feeling that. So this gun can be a little fatiguing if you're used to choking up on the grip, and since this does not have a stock, you kind of have to choke up on that grip to control that recoil a little bit better. So overall, it's not that horrible, but I don't know, maybe if you could do some kind of like a grip, like an overmolded grip, they make the Hogue wraparounds or something like that, that might help. Next experiment. So I've done quite a few high powered loads now between the turkey stuff, the double-aught buck, the 3-inch double-aught buck magnums, and slugs, right? So I wonder if that kind of broke things in a little bit, and I wonder if the full power spring can now start handling light powered loads. So I know this is the case with some of my Stoeger shotgun, for example. After shooting it enough, it started breaking in and it starts eating everything now. So I got some really light loads right here, some Winchester Target 7.5 inch or Winchester Target light 7.5. So this is some pretty low recoil stuff, and let's see if this feeds it reliably. That would be a no. No, it won't. All right, here we go. You know, it really helps the recoil if you give it a little yell, funny face, and lets those rounds go a lot easier. That was 5 easy rounds with the heavy turkey load stuff, and yeah, ran great. So now we got 6 rounds, 1 inside the chamber, and then 5 loaded up in the magazine. All right, let's give it a yell. Ah! Nope. Ah! All right. Oh, we actually dinged the primer on that one, but it did not go off. All right, here we go. 6 rounds. So I think I've shot the Rock Island VRF14 enough now to get a good feel for it and to really see what it's about. What I mean by that is this shotgun is fun. It's a very cool little shotgun, very short. As you can see, it has a 14-inch barrel. It has no stock, it has no buffer tube. This part did break off, I don't know where. But other than that, it takes magazines, which are cool, the AR-12 style magazines. They do make the 9-rounder, and again, the 19-rounder from Rock Island Armory. Again, that's pretty nice. So, as far as reliability, it's reliable if you use the proper ammunition in it. So what I mean by that is, if you have the high power spring installed on this shotgun, then it'll handle high powered ammunition just fine. It ran through buckshot, it ran through slugs, it ran through the high powered turkey shot. It went through like 50 rounds of those. So that being said, if you use the high power spring and then you put low power rounds in, like the really light target rounds and even the light powered buckshot, it didn't perform that well. It just wouldn't cycle completely because it didn't have enough, the spring was just too strong. The spring was just too heavy to cycle that. So again, the flip up sights I find relatively useless. Since there's no stock, you're not gonna shoulder it, so you're not really gonna aim with the sights too much. I just blew up some watermelons in a short. I'll actually show you that short right now. Rock Island VRF14 12 gauge, 14-inch barrel, and someone left an old watermelon for me. Other than that though, it's really fun. I don't know the rules as far as 12 gauge other type weapons, if you can put a foregrip on it or an angled foregrip, vertical foregrip, whichever. I'm not too sure on attachment rules legal wise, but it's a very fun gun. Now some of the complaints I have, number one is gonna be the spring situation. We're not always gonna be in a situation where it's not ideal to have to change springs to change your shooting style. If I have this thing and I want to play with it with some really light target loads, I'm not going to want to go and swap the spring just to shoot some target loads and then put the heavy spring back in. If you want to use this as a home defense type firearm, then it's good to practice with what you're shooting, and just swapping springs back and forth just to change what you intend to shoot. I don't know. It's not a deal breaker for me, but if they can somehow come up with a system or some kind of a spring that works perfectly between the two, that would be great. I don't know as far as stock options if you can put a short stock on an other type weapon. And other than that, the ergonomics on this rear grip right here on the pistol grip, it's just too squared off. If this can be shaved down a little bit, or if you could put one of the Hogue over molded rubber grips or something like that over it to eliminate this angle on the grip right here, because that really does bite into your hand. I've definitely done over 100 rounds through this thing. Like I said, just a mix of everything, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So this is a really fun firearm, and yeah, it's really cool. Hope you all like this. That's all I got for you guys today. Check the section below for links. I'll try to find some sources where you can get this and put this on my website as well. So keep an eye on that. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.